In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis featured in Bad Bunny's historic Super Bowl performance. Haiti's Transitional Power Council officially steps down, and Prince and Princess of Wales concerned by latest Epstein revelations. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today's Monday, the 9th of February. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, a day after Super Bowl 60, Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny is being praised across the Caribbean and Latin America for what's being called a historic halftime performance that sent a strong message of unity. During his 13-minute set, Bad Bunny called for the Americas to come together using music and visual symbolism rather than political statements to deliver that message. At the end of the performance, flags from around 20 nations were prominently displayed, including the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis, a moment that has sparked regional pride and strong support for the artist. The appearance of the Federation's flag on one of the world's largest stages has been widely shared online, with many describing it as a powerful moment of recognition for small island states. While Bad Bunny did not address politics directly during the Super Bowl, the performance follows his recent Grammy appearance where he spoke out against the treatment of immigrants and U.S. citizens by U.S. authorities. Today, the focus across the region is on the unifying tone of the performance and the visibility it brought to the Caribbean, with St. Kitts and Nevis featuring prominently in a global cultural moment. The Children's Medical Fund has been recognized by the Pediatric Assistance League of St. Kitts and Nevis, or PALS, for its role in helping another child access life-saving medical care. Last week, 4-year-old Dujan Basu Jr. traveled by air ambulance from St. Kitts to Health City Hospital in the Cayman Islands to receive urgent, specialized cardiac treatment. PALS expressed its gratitude to a number of partners who helped make the medical transfer possible, including the Office of the Prime Minister, the Children's Medical Fund, and the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs. Also recognized for their support were the country's head of pediatrics, Dr. Yannick Henry, the staff of the pediatrics ward at the Joseph N. France General Hospital, and the wider PALS family of donors. Minister of Health, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, said the Children's Medical Fund was created to ensure that children like Dujan can access urgent medical care when it is needed most. He added that organizations like the Children's Medical Fund play a critical role in protecting the well-being of the Federation's youngest citizens and giving them a fair chance at a healthy life. The Children's Medical Fund was established in 2022 under the leadership of Prime Minister Drew. It is a government-backed initiative designed to provide financial support for persons aged 18 and under who require urgent, specialized, or overseas medical care. The program is intended to ensure that families are not forced to rely on public fundraising when accessing life-saving treatment. In other news, farmer Neil Mitchell is expressing his gratitude to the Ministry of Agriculture for its continued support of the agricultural sector. Mitchell, who owns Island Country Farm, also thanked the Honorable Samal Duggins, Minister of Agriculture, for his presence, support, and commitment to strengthening agriculture and empowering local farmers.
My name is Neil Mitchell, the owner of Island Country Farm. I started farming from a young boy, but I really take it serious like 7 to 8 years ago. I just get a reward from getting the most produce of meat, mutton. I raise sheep and goat, natural, grass-fed, no chemical, so you ain't got to worry about what you eat when you come from Island Country Farm. Well, Minister of Agriculture, yes, they are long being there for me. They are long look out, they are long ensure that things goes right. They hear my cry. And the minister, I could call him at any time. He will respond to my call. So I would say, he's doing very good. He's doing very, very good. I said thanks to the minister again. Minister, thank you for your work.
Owner of Island Country Farms, Neil Mitchell. Moving now to news on the regional scene. After nearly 2 years of rule, Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council formally handed power to U.S.-backed Prime Minister Alex Didier-Filzame on Saturday. The 9-member council's tenure was marked by political infighting, corruption allegations, and an inability to curb rampant gang violence, leaving Filzame as the country's only politician with executive authority. Council President Laurent Saint-Cyr addressed the Prime Minister during the handover, saying, quote, "Our watchwords are clear: security, political dialogue, elections, stability. Mr. Prime Minister, in this historic moment, I know that you're gauging the depth of the responsibility you're taking on for the country," end quote. Haiti, the poorest country in Latin America, continues to grapple with deadly gang violence, widespread kidnappings, and food insecurity. Last year alone, gangs reportedly killed 6,000 people, while about 1.4 million citizens, roughly 10% of the population, have been displaced. Still on the regional scene, former British Virgin Islands Premier Andrew Foy has filed an appeal challenging his February 2024 U.S. conviction on drug and money laundering charges. Foy argued that the government's sting operation involved a substance, quote, "that would never test positive," end quote, for cocaine, and that critical information about the credibility of a confidential informant was withheld from the court. According to the initial brief of appellant filed earlier this week with the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, Foy is seeking to overturn his conviction on 3 primary grounds. He was sentenced to more than 11 years in prison after being convicted of conspiracy to import 5 kilograms or more of cocaine, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, attempted money laundering, and foreign travel in aid of racketeering. Moving now to news on the international scene, the Prince and Princess of Wales have said they are deeply concerned by the latest revelations about Jeffrey Epstein in their first public statement on the scandal. A Kensington Palace spokesperson said Prince William and Princess Catherine were, quote, "focused on the victims," end quote, in light of new information contained in documents related to the late sex offender released in the U.S. The statement was released after more allegations against Andrew Mountbatten Windsor emerged, increasing the scrutiny on the former prince. A royal spokesperson said, quote, "I can confirm the prince and princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims," end quote. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado said her opposition colleague Juan Pablo Guanipa has been kidnapped just hours before being released from detention. The Nobel Peace Prize winner said on Sunday that Guanipa, leader of the Justice First Party, was taken in the Los Chorros neighborhood of the capital, Caracas. She said, quote, "heavily armed men dressed in civilian clothes arrived in 4 vehicles and took him away by force," end quote. She made that statement on social media early on Monday. A former vice president of the National Assembly, Guanipa spent 8 months in prison and was among several political prisoners released since the United States seized Venezuela's then president, Nicolas Maduro, in January. Guanipa's center-right party said he had been kidnapped by the, quote, "repressive forces of the dictatorship," end quote, while he was moving between locations. They added that those accompanying him said weapons were pointed at the group before Guanipa was loaded into a car. And now for a look at the weather. Weather conditions across St. Kitts and Nevis are currently cloudy with showers affecting the islands. Winds are blowing as a light northeasterly breeze at around 7 miles per hour. At sea, conditions are moderate to rough, with wave heights ranging from 5 to 7 feet and swells reaching up to 6 feet. A high surf advisory remains in effect. Looking through the rest of today, skies will stay mostly cloudy with a moderate or 60% chance of showers. Tonight, cloudy conditions and showers are expected to continue. Sunset this evening will take place at 6:10 p.m. and sunrise sunrise will be tomorrow morning at 6:39 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.